the music. Look at the mumble rap, right? And I want you to kind of analyze this. And by the way, make sure you hit the like button and the share button. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button so people can know about these conversations. Because I'm encouraging black people to think, which I guess makes me public enemy number one or number two. If you look at this mumble rap shit, right? You look at the music and you break down the lyrics. And I want you to pay attention. The music communicates a message. And it communicates the message mainly not through the lyrical content, it's not like they have super deep lyrics where they're really trying to say something most of the time. Sometimes they are, most of the time they're not. It's actually, communicated through the imagery. The imagery is where the message gets sent, and the imagery usually focuses on these things. One is the whole drug addiction issue. There's usually some reference to drugs, popping pills or smoking something. There's the image of somebody, rolling up a joint, blowing smoke, drinking liquor, whatever, right? That's one of the things. Next, there's something there usually about money and how much money I have, right? And it's another big lie that our kids are told, because I know a lot of these rappers, I know a lot of these entertainers, a lot of these guys ain't got no money. A lot of them, or if they got money, it's temporary money. And even if they got big money, it's spent money. It's like, remember that song by 2 Chainz? I'm riding around and I'm getting it. I'm riding around and I'm getting it. It's mine, I spend it. It's mine, I spend it. He didn't say, it's mine, I invest it. It's mine, I grow it. It's mine, I flip it. He didn't say, it's mine, I flip it. He said, it's mine, I spend it. So that's like, it's mine temporarily, and I'm going to just shit it out and hand it over to white people. That's kind of what you're saying. Like, you're looking at money like it's this food that goes through your body and it goes in your mouth and out your ass and it's gone forever, right? It's not yours anymore, right? So he didn't say, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to flip it and turn it in. I'm going to take $1, turn it into a $10, take 10, turn it into 100. There's no conversation about that. Typically, it's usually, it's mine, I spend it. It's mine, I spend it. And the paradox of somebody trying to show you how much money, the paradox, the awkwardness, the contradiction of somebody trying to show you how much money they have by spending money is that the more I spend, the less I'm going to have. So it's like it's all built on thinking that is not intelligent thinking. It's thinking that is built on the here and now. It's like me saying to you that I am a person who owns a big glass of water. Look at me. Look at how much water I have. And then but as I'm saying that, I'm pouring the water out. So in about 30 seconds, I will no longer be the man with a big glass of water because I just poured my shit out. Right. But if you focus on the moment, you're like, damn, look at all that water Dr. Boyce got, man. He thirsted up, and he's got so much water. Like, the water is like the money, right? So it's like, look at how much money I got. And so to show you how much money I got, I'm in the club like this, right? I'm just making it rain. I'm buying bottles. I'm putting money in the stripper thongs and all that. And what you're looking at is you don't look at what something is. You look at who he's becoming. What you are right now is you are a baller. You are a guy that has a lot of money, but in about like a year, you're going to be a broke motherfucker. Like, you're becoming a broke ass nigga. Like, that's what you're becoming. Like, right now, you are a person who has a lot of money, but you're becoming a broke person. It's almost like an athlete, saying, look at what kind of shape I'm in. I'm in such good shape that I can eat donuts every day and not even get fat. Like, I'm going to just eat donuts and chicken, and I'm not going to go to the track. I'm just going to keep eating donuts and chicken. So you might be in shape now, but you're becoming a fat person, right? So a lot of times, people who can't see that, who don't look at a person's choices and behavior to determine what kind of life they're building for themselves, they don't see what the person's becoming. That's why a lot of women missed out on dating of Barack Obama. A lot of girls, when Barack became president, everybody was like, oh yeah, I'd love to, get with him. He's so sexy. I have fantasies about him. No, you don't. Stop lying. Because when Barack was a broke ass law student who couldn't even afford a rental car, whose credit card got declined because he tried to get a rental car and he couldn't afford one, when he went to one of these conventions, y'all wasn't looking for him. Y'all wasn't checking for him. He wasn't cool. He was nerdy. He was in the library studying all the time. He was broke as hell. You know, he was passing up good jobs. So a lot of women would have given him grief for the fact that he wasn't doing well. But the smart woman, the Michelle Obama, said, wait, this man is broke, but he's becoming a great man. His actions say that he's becoming a man who might one day become president of the United States. He might one day become a multi-millionaire. That's what he's becoming. So you learn more about a person from their actions than you can learn from where they are right now. Don't look at where somebody is. You got to look at where they are going. So when I see rappers that are talking about how much money they got, how successful they are, I don't give a fuck. I don't care how many views you got on YouTube. I don't care about how much money you're making per show. I need to see what kind of decisions you're making. What are your actions? What do you do with your life on a day-to-day basis? So I'll give you a good example of a rapper that I just think is awesome. Y'all heard me talk about him, D1. D1 is about 28, 29 maybe. And D, that guy, I talk to him, we're always talking about the investments he's making. We're always talking about the moves, the strategic moves he's making to build his company. We're always talking about his marketing strategy and how his plans for what kind of organization he wants to build in the future and how he wants his career to evolve over time. And I look at D and I'm like, this guy is becoming one of the greatest black men I've ever met. Is he there yet? He's on his way. You know, but wherever he is right now, he's nowhere near where he's going to be in 5 or 10 years. He's becoming a great man. So what you must ask yourself, ladies, when you're picking a man and you're trying to, because you pick a man, you're betting on a horse. You know, it's like betting on a horse. Like, that's your horse. You sticking with it, right? And so when you betting on that horse, you can't just look at what he is. You got to look at what he's becoming. And the way the signal, the clues are through his actions. Right. So when I look at them, listen to them talk about money again, because, me being a financial expert, I kind of laugh, because, you have this obsession over money almost to the point of worshiping money. But you can't really worship money if you don't understand how to obtain money. You can't talk about money if you don't even understand how to keep money or how to grow money. You can't talk about making money moves unless you really understand how to make money moves. What is a money move? Is a money move like I'm going to go turn in my Porsche and buy me a new Lamborghini? That's not really a money move. That's kind of a spending move. A money move is like, okay, I'm going to go sell some stock so I can go buy some more real estate. And then I'm going to take some of my real estate, income, and I'm going to invest that into another small business. And then I'm going to also set up a trust to make sure that my assets are protected in the event of a lawsuit. Like, that's a money move. That's a money move, right? A money move is not going to the club and making it rain. A money move is not buying a new Porsche to replace the old Porsche that you had before. Like, a money move is not buying Tom Ford or whatever the fuck and showing everybody how much nice stuff you have. Like, that's not a money move. Like, that's all that is consumption. That's what they call it. They call that consumption. And they might as well call it consuckertion, because literally you are the sucker that's making somebody else rich when you're spending that much of your money, that much of your hard-earned money on stuff that pretty much means nothing. It really doesn't mean anything. It just makes you look better and feel better, but it doesn't really make your life better. The other thing is that I want you to pay attention to the mumble rap videos. I want you to analyze, because you should analyze this. If you care about black people, you should analyze what black people are consuming psychologically. So you'll always see a reference to the drug addiction. You'll always see a reference to something that has to do with money, or you usually see a reference to that. Or you'll see a reference to something that's sexual. It's usually irresponsible sex. Sort of the promotion of really extreme black male promiscuity. To the point of like it being like a CDC warning, like epidemic level, where if you have one guy who gets, it's all the girls that want to be with him, and he's sleeping with 200 women a year, and he's using a condom only 30% of the time, or whenever he feels like, whenever he's not drunk enough to forget to wear the condom. That's real. I mean, that has a real implication, right? Like, that's really how, how diseases get spread. That's how unwanted pregnancies happen. And because remember, Eazy-E did that. Eazy-E used to talk about all the women he used to fuck. And it's fine. I'm not judging people having sex. People have sex. That's what they do, right? But the thing about it, though, is that it has like real implications. Like, sex actually creates people. You know, y'all people may not know this. No one talks about this, right? But sex creates like babies, and babies grow up, and they grow up, and they say, well, how did I get here? Oh, wait, my mom and daddy were drunk and high, you know, back in 2018, and just had sex, and they don't even know each other's names, and you know what I mean? That's what kids are gonna do. That's what they're gonna think about when they get old enough, and they're gonna say, "Oh, wait a minute, my daddy's a drug addict because he's been using Molly Percocet since he was 17." Like, that's why I hate my daddy. My daddy's an asshole. My daddy is worthless. My daddy can't pay child support because he's a broke ass rapper who never got any other marketable skill because he thought that he could spend his whole life being a rapper when he didn't understand the game. He didn't understand the game where basically you're useful till you're about 23, 24 years old, and then they spit you out. And like E40 used to say, they'll find a new nigga next year. So that after they chew you up and spit you out, they replace you with another 18-year-old who doesn't know any better, and you spend your life. And now by this time, like, you done got deep in the game. You done got felony charges and starting beefs with guys on Twitter talking about, I'm gonna show up at your house and shoot you. Whatever you done got, you done got a drug addiction. So you hooked on Molly Percocet or whatever. That shit's hard to get off of. You try that shit. That shit is very tough to get off of. Got tattoos all over your face, like, you know, because you so deep in the game. And the thing about it that's really interesting is that you really wasn't deep in your own game. Like, if you're going to be deep in the game, be deep in the game that you control, that you're really a part of. Really, when you're in that bullshit thug culture that's being promoted through mumble rap by white people, you're not deep in your game or deep in a black people game. You're deep in a white man's game. You're deep in his game the same way a rat gets caught deep in the game of trying to get through the maze that was created by the person who built the maze. You know, you are the puppet and somebody else is the puppet master. So you've committed yourself to something that you don't even understand, something that's far bigger than you, something that where people actually have real power, but you were given the illusion of power. So let me keep going. So you have the references to the irresponsible sex, you have the references to the money, the drug addiction. There's almost always some reference to weapons, which is really fascinating. That they got these black men really getting on Twitter talking about, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna murder you, which is really hilarious because, I guess because unfortunately a lot of these kids, they didn't go to good schools, they didn't get a good education, because we keep sending our kids to these public schools because we want white people to educate our kids so they can fuck them up, and they grow up and they don't understand, basic things because they've been on Ritalin since they were little. They've been in special ed. A lot of these motherfuckers can't read. It ain't their fault. It ain't totally their fault. It's because they grew up in communities where the schools were horrible. A lot of them had parents that were on drugs or in prison or whatever, and so they didn't know any better. So now they're out here and they're doing things that literally make them easy food for mass incarceration. They're easy food for white supremacy. They're easy food. Like, it's easy for a white supremacist to destroy or to control a black person who has no education. It's easy for a white supremacist to control a black person who is doped up. It's easy for white supremacists. Like Malcolm X used to say, the white man will sell you the liquor bottle and then he'll lock you up for being drunk. He said the white man will sell you the liquor bottle and then he'll lock you up because you're drunk. And so ultimately, it's easy for them to control black people who are not educated. It's easy for them to control black people who are high and drunk all the time. It's easy for them to control black people who insist on fighting each other. It's easy for them to control black people who just, are just on some old other shit. Like if you've been on Ritalin your whole life and never learned how to read and don't want to even try to learn how to read, then you're going to pretty much be food for the system. So you're going to end up doing stupid shit. What stupid shit I'm talking about? Like, like getting on a record and bragging about how many people you shot. Like, why would you do that? Like, if you're going to kill anybody, here's my memo. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. If I ever kill somebody, which God forbid I never have to do that. If I ever kill somebody, I will never tell you. I will never tell my woman. I won't repeat it even to myself because I don't want nobody to know that I had nothing to do with that shit. Hell no. Right? So the thing is that that's what you do, right? Do you know how many cops, I knew cops back in the day, right? Do you know how many times cops have told me that they are able to catch somebody or solve a murder because the dude told his girlfriend during pillow talk because he felt like he had to get it off his chest. And so what you've done is you built a prison for yourself because now if she ever sees you with another woman or you break up with her and she ain't happy about it, she gonna go straight to the police, turn your ass in, and won't give a damn. And so, so the next level stupid beyond on top of that is when you literally are on a video rapping about people you killed and you're holding guns. And the police watch these videos? Like, they study these videos. They have facial recognition technology where they can figure out who